Hello everyone, this is Oslo Soup from Grünerløkka where we're doing our mag donation. Oslo Soup is a recently founded initiative started by 4 expat girls, 2 of which are here, Janine from South Africa and Switzerland, and me from Italy and Switzerland, Julia. Thank you. Oslo Soup is a micro-funding event that happens roughly every 3 or 4 months or so, where people gather, they eat soup, bread and cake, donate money to do so, and listen to 4 community enhancing projects, the presentation of which lasts for approximately 4 minutes. 4 minutes and then 4 questions from the public, and then at the end all the soup eaters vote for the best projects, and the best projects gets all the soup money.
And now basically an example of this project could be a lady coming in saying that she wants to knit, or she is knitting socks for the homeless. She just needs maybe some more wool or money for the wool, or just support. Another person could maybe be wanting to do a magazine, a blind magazine for the blind homeless, or like it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's community enhancing.
Can also be for profit.
Yes, for profit. And well, the idea is also that at the event you get to know people and you get to talk to people, and then maybe the lady with the wool did not win, but then another person goes up to her and says, hey look, my father has a wool shop and he has a lot of wool that's lying around every day after work, or I have a neighbor who's doing the same thing, you know, like just hooking up people and just getting people to get to know each other, and so that's the idea of it.
Please join on the 10th of April.
10th of April at SYNG at 3:30.
Okay, so with Oslo Soup, you can have different project ideas as long as they always benefit the local community of Oslo. That is our only criteria. So for example, you can be somebody who has a completely new idea. So I guess traditionally you'd call that a startup idea. So if you were, for example, somebody who had an idea about wanting to set up your own tennis academy, and you needed the money to be able to buy some rackets, you needed the money to be able to buy some balls, and you wanted to be able to provide the coaching free of charge to people in the community, for example, people who might find accessing sport activities a little bit difficult or a little bit too expensive, and you could fill that gap by being able to provide that service for them. But yourself, you can't afford to go out and buy maybe 20 tennis rackets and 300 balls, because that's quite expensive. This idea you could pitch at Oslo Soup, and if people thought, that's quite a nice idea, you're giving your time for free, you're giving your expertise as a coach, then they could award you the money, and then you can use that money to go out, buy the rackets, buy the balls, and then start up your project, and hopefully encourage more people to get involved in healthy, fit activity and fun and community. And that would just be something that's quite small, quite grassroots, but is essentially a new idea that you'd be doing, a new startup. Or the other kind of slant on it is that you can be a business or a project that's already going. So you could be something, for example, like a yoga service that offers yoga classes to people, but you rely on donations for people to give to you to rent the hall out, because you have the hall essentially rented from a company or from a building. Now, because you're reliant on donations, that can come and go, and sometimes you can get a lot and sometimes you don't get so much. And you are offering the yoga classes to benefit the local community. So what you can do is apply for the funding and pitch your idea, and if people think, well, why not? That's a great idea, you know, free classes for yoga, which is good for your spiritual being, good for your health, then you could get that pot of money and put that towards, for example, paying your rent for the next 6 months. So, you know, it can be very different. It can be quite basic idea, but if it's benefiting the local community, that's really the only criteria. So please, you know, if you have an idea, don't think, no, it's not worthy, it's not, you know, it's not a good enough idea. If you think it's a good idea, it's probably got something in it, it's probably got a merit in it, and it's certainly worth you pitching, putting your application in, and trying to go for it. So I would recommend that you do it. Why not?
Yeah, and applications are due by March 15th, and you can find that pretty easily on oslosoup.org/submit-proposal. We're also on Instagram, Twitter at Oslo Soup, and also on Facebook, and you can find that under Oslo Soup as well. You can reach us if you have a direct question via our website or at info@oslosoup.org. So Hope we can see everyone on April 10th, coming up very soon, and it'll be our first launch of Oslo Soup, and it's going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, of course it will be. Why would it not?
We'll have an awesome time.
Yeah.
Regardless, great time to network and to have a bit of soup with your fellow Oslo-tonians.
Oslotonians.
Something of that.
Oslovians. Whatever you call yourself, you're very welcome to come down. Cake's going to be great, soup's going to be great, bread's going to be fantastic.
And the creative energy will definitely be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Iara.
Have fun.